Hi, sixth graders. Welcome to Mr. Long's virtual classroom. Today we're going to work on a 2-paragraph narrative writing assignment where we're going to establish setting in the first paragraph and we're going to tell our story in the second paragraph. So let's get to work. For the first paragraph, we want to establish setting. In order to establish setting in our writing, we need to talk about time and place. Just like our definition for setting in our vocabulary list, it's not enough just to tell where something took place. We also need to say when it took place. The setting is really different when you put the time in there. In order to establish setting, you should rely on your figurative language that you're used to using when you want to be as descriptive as possible. Whatever sights and sounds help bring the reader into the setting, this will make your paragraph more interesting. For me, when I establish setting for the house that I grew up in, I always remember that my mom was cooking beans on the stove. So my house always smelled like beans and onions. And to me, it's a really good memory. And so that's the detail that I use when I want to establish setting at my house. If you have a dog that's barking, or if you can remember a certain thing about the weather, the time your story takes place, that's really good to put into your setting to help establish what we're trying to show in our work, the place that our story takes place. Second paragraph is going to be the story, or the body paragraph. This is where you tell the story that becomes your narrative. For most people, this is the easiest paragraph to write. It's the action. It's what happens. It's the details that help us to remember our story. So this is the paragraph, or multiple paragraphs, where you try and tell the most complete story that you can. The imagery, the stuff that you see in the story, the sounds, the things that you hear, and generally stuff that brings the reader into your story. This is where you tell your narrative. Well, I hope my tutorial has been helpful today. If you have suggestions for how to make these better, please feel free to contact me, and use the timestamp on this video so that you can find the certain part of your writing that you're working on, and I look forward to reading your work. Mr. Long is out.